Today we're going to look at bass guitars. Yes. Why are we looking at bass guitars? Well, because we got a bass guitar right here, and somebody asked me a question on the iRig 2, and they asked a question, can you use it on bass guitar? And I was like, I got some bass guitars, I'll try it out. And I know bass guitarists have had a lot of public shaming on the internet lately because of all the new bass tools that are coming out, new VSTs and things like that, Euro bass, punk bass, all that kind of stuff. Spectre Sound Studios did a bit on punk bass last week, and the app is fantastic and sounds awesome. And so, I mean, hats off to the creators of that. But the thing is that even though bass guitarists are kind of getting the bottom end of the stick right now, nothing wrong with playing bass, right? So the thing is that you can use a whole bunch of different tools for bass, and the iRig 2 guitar interface is for bass guitar as well. You just have to be a little bit finicky with the controls, and it's not to say that you're going to get a bad sound or anything. It's just basically a connector to send the signal from your bass guitar into your iPad or into your whatever else you want to use, your Android device. I've got an instance of GarageBand opened up here, and I'm using a modern stack. Now, I did edit the controls quite a bit. I edited the gain, the bass, and mid treble on the EQ. So I took the bass down to 4, mids at 5, treble at 7, and then I dropped the gain down to about 4 from what it was default. It was just giving me a lot of distortion, so I wanted to kind of minimize that a little bit. And I also did that by making sure that my tone knob on my bass guitar was actually turned down a little bit too. So I'm just going to tune up here quickly. So my 5-string, I've got a ESP 5-string here. Standard B tuning. What I've got going on here is I've got the 5-string connecting to a Boss DD3, a digital delay pedal that I used on my electric guitar. Hey, this is what that sounds like. Not bad, right? And that's going into the iRig 2, and then the iRig 2 into GarageBand. GarageBand's coming out into the amp output on the iRig 2, and then going into my software to send you a decent audio feed. Okay, so that said, I just put a basic drum track in the background, and we'll just have a little bit of fun here. Okay. Nothing major going on there, right? You can use your guitar effect pedals too. I'm going to do a video in another series here because I'm like, well, why just use my electric guitars for my pedals when I can use any of my effect pedals that I use in guitar and use it for bass too? So what I'm going to do is another video on using my TC Helicon Voice Live 3 Extreme with bass guitar, because it's got a whole bunch of different amp settings in it. It's got an octaver in it that I think would sound awesome on bass guitar with chords and things like that. And a whole bunch of different amp settings and things like that. So it'll be really cool. So I'm going to get that out later. But anyway, for now, you know, bass guitarists, use whatever effect pedal you want. Roland Boss actually has an article on their website that says that you can use whatever effect pedal you want out of their slot for bass guitar, even though it's maybe for guitar. Use it for bass. Experiment. Find yourself a really good sound. And maybe that's just the thing that you need to cut through the mix a little bit too, especially if you're working on like a hard rock metal mix. You want a distortion pedal, throw a bass guitar on it. Who cares? Because you're probably going to do that in the mix anyway. Throw some distortion on it or saturation. So why not get it going in? Okay, so yeah, you can use it on GarageBand. Play with all the different amps in there. Plug this sucker right into the IK Multimedia iRig 2. Get a good sound going and play around, experiment, get your own sound, and man, this opens up a whole new ballpark of things you can do with bass guitar, because not a lot of people are thinking you can use a bass guitar with guitar effect pedals, but you can. Why not? It's just not gonna sound maybe the way that the manufacturer wanted it to sound with the electric, but that doesn't mean you can't use it and figure out a good sound for yourself. So anyway, thanks for tuning in and keep making music.
Is it a puppy? Yeah.